First question is, are there any other meditation workshops or sessions other than Saturday? No, we don't have any other sessions because other days we have to practice on our own. We need to practice. We're still in the process of learning more and more. Meditation is a lifetime learning process. It's not just you learn it and you know everything. It's a lifetime learning process. It's just like meditation, delving into the intricacies and the complexities of the mind, which requires a whole lifetime of learning. As a matter of fact, the Buddha said it's not just one time of learning. It's numerous lifetimes of learning. In every lifetime, you accumulate more and more and more wisdom, the insightful wisdom. And maybe the reason why that you have been participating is you had been learning in your previous lifetime, in your previous reincarnation in the samsara. And this is another lifetime in which you have the circumstances to contact people who are meditating and you come for meditation. This could be a continuation from your previous life meditation practice to now. So it is a whole lifetime of reincarnating practices. And who knows, maybe in this lifetime you have achieved samadhi, which is mental stabilization, and you can achieve introspection, which is insightful wisdom. We don't know, but are there any meditation workshops? We don't have any meditation workshops. We only have it on Saturday. We concentrate all workshops that we planning to have on a Saturday morning. And not everybody can join when they are working. So even if we have it on Monday, on Tuesday, and other weekdays, because people are working, they don't have all the time to come for meditation, and we don't do it at night. So that is the only rare opportunity that we can offer something to the public, to the community. Buddhism is not just about personal pursuit of enlightenment. It's about a communal interest. It's altogether, we want to extend what we are learning. We go beyond personal benefits to communal benefits. We want to go beyond communal benefits to societal benefits. We want to go from societal benefits to universal benefits. Meditation is to give out all the compassion. You give out and you give out. Most people just want, I want this, I want that. But the Buddha said in meditation, you learn not to want everything. You learn to let go of it, and you learn to give out, and give out. We have a give out period on Saturday morning, and we value that opportunity. So concentrate on Saturday. Saturday is usually a holiday, so come on a Saturday morning. Tell your friends that they can come on Saturday morning. Saturday morning, what do you usually do if you don't come for meditation? You sleep in for another couple of hours, and then after you wake up, then you go to McDonald's, Tim Hortons, have a cup of coffee. You go to the park, and that's that's usually how we spend. Many people spend their mornings on a Saturday or Saturday morning. But why don't we use this Saturday morning to learn something about Buddhism? We learn samadhi, we learn samatha meditation for mental stabilization, and we learn vipassana meditation for insightful wisdom. All these is very valuable. Do come on a Saturday. Tell your friends that they can come on a Saturday morning. So that's what this question is all about. Second question, what if I fall asleep during my meditation? If you are falling asleep. So in other words, in your meditation period, you are so tired or you're so drowsy that you dozed off in a sweet slumber. You know, some people say, I want to come to meditation, and the purpose is, I usually have insomnia. But whenever I come to meditation and try to meditate, I start to get my sleep back, so I can make use of this opportunity to doze off to a sleep. No. When you are meditating, you are not sleeping. Sleeping is not meditation. Meditation, you have to be alert. Your mind must be alert. Your mind is not drowsy. Your mind is clear. One cannot meditate with the intention of, say, oh, last night I didn't have enough sleep. I was drowsy. Maybe I should make it up with a meditation. No, meditation is not sleeping. Meditation, you have to be alert. Meditation is to learn how to manage your own consciousness. People say, it's my mind. Of course I know how to manage it. It's my mind. If you can manage your mind, how come you get mad? How come you get jealous? How come you have a fury of rage when you're being agitated and you yell back? How come you fight among family members? One cannot control oneself. You have to put your mind under control. And meditation serves as an aid to help you put your mind under control. If you can put your mind under your control, given that your thinking is righteous and not perverted, then you're on your way to wisdom. You're on your way to unlock the path leading to happiness and success in life. Not just spiritually, in society, in your job, in your family. If you can put all that under control, then when you're living at home, you'll be happy because you know how to control yourself. You know how to be a good family member. You know how to deal with your friends. So meditation is all about yourself. So don't fall asleep. This is not the time to fall asleep. This is the time to be alert. This is the mind to be mindful. This is the mind to do mental stabilization. This is the mind to do introspection for insightful wisdom. So don't lose this opportunity into a sleep. Why is the last 6 words need to be faster and faster? Is there any particular reason? Good question. People always ask questions. If I go faster and faster, they say, how come you go faster and faster? If I go slower and slower, they say, how come you go slower and slower? They always ask questions like that. You go faster and faster, it's because you want to have a deep concentration. If you're always slow, you really would go into a sleep for some people who are tired. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme. You go to sleep. But once you're fast, that means you have to concentrate. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme. You tend to concentrate. It's just like in your walking. If you're in a hurry, if there's something really urgent that you have to attend to, you really walk fast to attend to that matter. If there's nothing to attend to, you're just sauntering and meandering in your park, in the park, you have nothing else to do, you tend to walk slowly, and you see a bench, you would lie on the bench and go to sleep. Because by being fast and fast, you're focused, you have to focus. Your focusing becomes strong when you are chanting Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. It's just like putting a magnifier under the sunlight. You magnify it. You magnify your focus. So that's the reason why you want to go fast. You may not concentrate if you go so slowly. Om Mani Padme Hum. You go to sleep. But you start slow first, and then you go faster. So the question is, what is the relation between meditation and spirituality? Meditation is highly correlated to spirituality. What is being spiritual? That's a difficult question. What is spirituality? Spirituality is about maybe phenomena or maybe phenomena beyond one's existence. Concerning not just one's existence, it also concerns something beyond existence. We always think of existence only. How do I exist? How much money I earn? Do I have to buy a house? If I buy a house, how much mortgage I have to pay? And what happens if I lose my job? And I'm getting married, and I'm looking for a relationship, And now I'm married. Should I have children? Should I go buy a house? All these is a temporal matters, secular matters, temporal matters. We seem to be caught up in the web of a spider or the cocoon of a caterpillar. You're always being, we spin all these threads of luxuries, yearning for more. We spin all this thread and tie up ourselves in the cocoon. You know what a cocoon is? A cocoon. Well, as the caterpillar is hiding inside the cocoon, then you have all these things to spin, all these things to spin yourself. Who is spinning all this thread? The caterpillar. But the caterpillar doesn't know that he shouldn't be binding himself. But you were always doing that. We're always doing that. So spirituality is, can we go beyond? It's beyond materiality, beyond life. Is there anything that is not just concerning about eating, about breakfast, about lunch, luxuries, pursuit? Why do I exist? Where do I come from? After this existence, where would I go? After I die, any humans can die in any minute, right? Nobody's assured of tomorrow's livelihood. Nobody. An accident can take a life away anytime. A sickness can linger on 1 or 2 months or even 1 or 2 years, and then you passed out, and then that's the end of life. So there's nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. It's always changing and changing. But yet, as a corporeal being, we always hang on to something permanent. We always say there's always a yes, there's always a tomorrow. There's always something that you can yearn for. I want this, I want that. Because you're always thinking about existence as something very permanent. Existence is something about very happy. We're not refuting happiness, but this is an imperfect world. How can there be continuing happiness? So all these things that we want to know becomes something that is in the spirituality that we have to be in pursuit of. We want to know something more about that. Are you not interested in knowing something more about that? Or you are interested in what you yearn for, what you want? And not just yearning for it, you want to by all means get it. You may not appreciate what you've got. You always want to get more. You always want, I want this, I want that. Does anybody appreciate, as I said this morning, do you appreciate your own breath? Do you know that your breath is the most valuable? If you cannot even breathe, you don't exist. So that's your breath. Maybe nobody told you that your breath is the most valuable. You always think that your life or your money, your house, your family is all valuable. But the Buddha put all these things in front of us and talk about it and lead us to something spiritual. And if you become very successful in your spiritual pursuit and in your spiritual work, you have been successful in completing it and getting to a level where you can jump out of reincarnation cycle, you're on your way to nirvana. Because if nothing happened to you, if your spirituality doesn't work or you have ignored it, you probably would bring all your present karma into the next life. In other words, you'll be reincarnating into the next life. What is your next life going to be? We don't know. But what I read from the sutra, the Buddha one day talking to a congregation, all of a sudden he did something different. He picked up from the ground a handful of sand. The Buddha picked up from the ground a handful of sand, and he said, all those sentient beings who reincarnate into unwholesome realm, bad realms, animals, ghosts, it's like the sand on the ground. And all those sentient beings who could reincarnate into a higher level is like the handful of sand in my hands. So the proportion of those who can actually become spiritual and actually elevate to a higher level of reincarnation is very, very insignificant. So we always roll back into a bad reincarnation next time. There are 6 paths of reincarnations. 3 virtuous and 3 unvirtuous. The 3 virtuous ones, unvirtuous ones are what? Suffering in hell, hell victims, animals and ghosts. Those are the 3 unvirtuous or unwholesome or really bad ram. And what are the 3 rams? Humans. If you can reincarnate into humans again, you're already lucky. But what kind of humans? A rich human, poor human, healthy human, unhealthy human? We don't know. It depends on your karmic energy. It's scary. Most people reincarnate into a lower energy level. Next life. Imagine what you have been doing. Killing, lying, sexual misconduct, intoxication, cheating, suspicious, jealousy, hatred, greediness, anger, rage. How many have we done? So we say with spirituality, that question, the relationship between meditation and spirituality. Meditation is a tool that leads you to that spirituality. It's a tool only. It is not an end by itself. It's a tool. A tool that will lead you in spirituality. It's just like a carpenter who needs a tool, who needs a hammer, who needs a chainsaw to do his carpentry work. You need tools. Meditation is not an end. Meditation is not an end in itself. Meditation is just a tool to lead you to that spirituality where you can get away from samsara, where you in that's what we call anuttara samya sambuddhi or nirvana. We yet have to explain what nirvana is all about. Do you expect to know everything in a session of Q&A like this? It has taken me 50 years. I'm still in search of wisdom and spirituality. Nowadays, people want fast. Everything must be done fast. No. You have to slowly plow your land. When you grow some plants, you spread your seeds in the soil. You want it to grow fast. What do? Some relatively foolish people, what do? They pull the seed out so that they can grow faster. Eventually, the plant dies because you try to pull the seed out and you think that it can grow faster. You have to allow the seed to germinate. You have to put water into it. You have to put fertilizers and the sunlight. You can't pull the seed to let it grow faster, can you? If you can, raise your hand. No, you cannot. So that answers the question. And that question requires a lot of time to answer. I will stop at this point. There's a lot more to learn from it. Come next Saturday. We can learn more. When we are meditating, we'll be introducing more concepts, Buddhist concepts to you. And these Buddhist concepts are not just purely dealing with spirituality. This concept will help you how to solve problems in your present life, how to be a good family member, how to be a good member in the society, how do you become a good worker in your company. Buddhism can teach you to be a good worker in your company, to be a good son, to be a good daughter, to be a good father, to be a responsible father, to be a responsible mom. It's all about life. Spirituality is never detached from the world. You cannot detach the world and talk about spirituality. It's just like the plant cannot be detached from the mud to get growing. Okay, that's all about it. Next, the second question. And would you talk about something about Kuan Yin? There's so much to talk about Kuan Yin. So much to talk about Kuan Yin. We can talk about next time. And by the way, when you are entering the temple, do you realize that we have a Kuan Yin bronze statue right at the front with these 2 fish spurting out water in the fountain? Do you realize that? That's Kuan Yin. And in the Sanskrit language, that is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And in the Tibetan language, or Bhutanese language, it's Charasi. Or in simple translation from English is the goddess of mercy, of compassion. And that's Guan Yin. And if you want to know something more about Guan Yin, we have a little stone, well, not a little, we have a big, huge stone, what do you call that, monument, just by the side of the fountain. And it lays out one holy incident that happened in Victoria Island about Guan Yin. Stand in front of the monument, the stone monument, and read the English translation of that. Better than for me to tell you what happened. Better than for me to tell you the story. You go and read the monument and you'll know something about Guan Yin. The question is, I really cherish the second week of meditation session again. This golden opportunity to have everybody around is fantastic. This moment will not happen again. No, it's going to happen again next Saturday, unless circumstances do not allow you to come. So every circumstance is valuable. Every circumstances you must appreciate. I appreciate the chance that I went to a temple, I had a lunch, and I attended a meditation session. I value it. I appreciate it. A lot of satisfaction and happiness comes from appreciation. Do you appreciate what your mom has done for you? Your dad has done for you? Your friends? Your husband? Your wife? You appreciate. Actually, do you appreciate this lunch? This lunch is being offered to you by donors. They donate money to support the temple. That's why we can have a free lunch. And a lot of people, when you're eating the lunch, they take it for granted. Oh, I got a free lunch. Oh, I got a free lunch. But some people who are building up wisdom would say, oh, in this world, there's no such thing as free lunch. And I'm eating this lunch. Who is donating this lunch? Should I enjoy it? Oh, I really appreciate it, because some people are so generous that they donate money to the temple so that the temple can prepare lunch for you. Oh, I really appreciate the deeds of these people. I like these donors who are doing that. That's appreciation. Did you put that thought in your mind when you're eating? Oh, well, usually what kind of thoughts they put in their mind when you're eating? I don't like this. Oh, the egg roll is good. It's crispy. I don't like the rice. I don't like the vegetables. They always are negative. They always find out things they don't like. And they never appreciate of things that is given to them in a likable way. Do they appreciate that? Do you appreciate your lunch? If you appreciate, raise your hands. You see, some people don't appreciate it. They didn't raise their hands. Understanding that everything manifests in this world is impermanent, however, I cannot help suffering from the grief that comes and goes. Grief comes and goes. It's being well said. The grief comes and goes, but your attachment hasn't been gone. Oh, I have grief. It comes and it goes. Oh, I don't like my grief. Oh, when it goes away, I feel happy. That grief comes and goes. But your attachment to the grief is always there. Why don't you take the approach that my grief also is gone? I don't want to attach to it. It comes and it goes. However, I cannot help suffering from the grief that comes and goes. You are suffering when you attach. You attach to happiness. You attach to grief. I know the seed in a higher consciousness was being nourished. Yeah? Looking at it painfully, even time passed, what can we do? What can we do when time goes away? We can't change time. Can we change time? Can we change the world? Can I change what you are thinking? I cannot change. But I can change myself, right? If my mind is under my control, I can change myself. It's easy to change yourself than to change others. When you are in the family, you always expect your wife to be a good cook. You always expect your wife to be tired and needy, that everything is in cleanliness situation. You always expect. What can we do? Very simple, if I put it in one word. Change yourself, improve yourself. Don't stick your mind into improving others. You've got to be better to me. You got to treat me well. You are an employer, you got to pay me a lot more money than you are paying me. You are my wife or you are husband, you have to do this, you have to do that. And you are my colleagues in the company, you have to work and cooperate with me. You have to be polite to me. You have to be gentle to me. You always request and request and request. You always want other people to change, to suit your taste, to suit your requirement. But are you not changing yourself? Change yourself. It's easier. It's more difficult to change others. Change yourself. Once you change yourself, you are indirectly changing others. Say that if you have a wife who is temperamental, but if one day you say, I don't want always to have a tantrum of behavior. I always want to be more reserved, more polite, more tender-loving. I change myself. I don't request my wife to change. I change myself. Then as time goes on, your wife discovers something wonderful. Oh, my husband has changed. He was furious at a very simple sentence uttered from my mouth, but then now he's more tolerable. He's more resilient. You are changing him without the intention of changing. You are changing two people instead of one. You are changing yourself, and at the same time, you're changing your husband. Isn't that more effective than just requiring other people to change? Right? You agree? If you agree, you raise your hands. It's as I said, some people don't agree, or they don't really care. Well, what do I do now? What can we do? We change. We study. We meditate. We improve. Next week, we're going to have the same meditation session, and we'll be slowly building up the same meditation as before, and hopefully there will be more and more old-time karmas coming, because these old-time karmas, they know what to do. They can assist in every way. And for the new karmas, keep up your patience. Keep up your focus. Don't just go for one time, and next time I never see you again. Learning is a lifetime process. When you're in the process of learning it, you know more concepts about Buddhism, and that helps not only your spiritual life, but also your secular life, in which you can unlock the path to happiness and success. Okay, see you next time.